So when we talk about education, the kind of dimension it has now achieved, it's very clear that for our students to be ready for the jobs of tomorrow, which do not exist now, it's very important that they have the right kind of skills to be ready for those jobs, because neither you nor I, we do not know what kind of jobs will be there 20 years hence when these children grow up. So since we cannot train them for those jobs, at least we can equip them with those skills which will help them to be successful in those jobs that they take up after a few years. So those 21st century skills, we call them the 4 C's, are very important, and I think as educationists it's very it's our religion that we need to make sure that our children are equipped with those skills of 21st century. The 4 C's are communication, where children should learn how to communicate in all the ways, not only verbally, through technology, through writing, through reactions. So these are the skills that children need to develop, because now, because of technology, we see children, most of the students, too focused towards their own devices, and it's very hard to pull them out from their individual devices and to make them socially interact with people. So then this is one skill that we need to ensure that it is honed in their school experience. Then we talk about collaboration, that's the team spirit, that the way we work together. So the second C is collaboration. When children work together as groups, it's not that we expect them to contribute together as a group. We would expect them to make sure that within that group also they are they are presenting their individual strength, which means if they are good at maybe collating material, or maybe reporting, or presenting, or collecting data, so they are given that role, and then they come out and they realize that even when we collaboration is not something that is one person's responsibility, we just assist that person. It's something where each one of us contributes in our individual way, and that's when and irrespective of our individual contribution, we still come out with a product which is a group product. So that's the collaboration that I'm talking about. The third C is about critical thinking. When we talk about critical thinking, we divide it into 3 parts. So we are talking about those questioning skills that children need to have. They can't always be questioned and expected to answer things. They have to be critical thinkers who can ask questions maybe by thinking of things which are open-ended. So pondering more about whys and hows rather than what is what we train them in critical thinking. Then we also make sure that children are given enough opportunity to do problem solving in their classes. They should be using those creative thinking tools which will help them in organizing their own thinking. So this is what the third C is, that is critical thinking. And then the last one is creativity. Now creativity is a very essential skill for 21st century, because there's so much that's happening around. Unless you have an original idea of your own, your chances to succeed are very minimal, because you need to be an original thinker. You need to know a way in which you can be creative. It may not be in artistic manner that you have to be artistic, but then you should be able to think creatively so that you can be an innovator. Now the world belongs to innovators. That's why this STEAM education has now been given so much of emphasis. Earlier it was STEM, now we have added arts to it. So it's like science, technology, engineering, arts and maths. So we put together all of them, and we need to train our children to work together, creating products which have the elements of STEAM. As teachers, the way we have been taught, somehow we become the same kind of teachers. So it's important that we unlearn whatever we have learned as students and whatever we have assumed about being teachers, and we relearn. So this is one opportunity that we are providing to all the teachers out there, to come and see how they can add a different dimension to their own teaching. We'll be working on how to develop these 21st century skills amongst our students, and we'll be doing it through some very simple hands-on activities which the teachers would never think that it was that easy that we could adopt these 21st century skills in their classrooms. So we would want teachers to come up and enroll for this workshop, because it is going to help them in making their students lifelong learners and bringing a difference in the society, which so much needs it from them as educators.